Got it. Let's start with the first one for now.
Okay.
Yeah, first one for now, and then we'll go to the second one in a minute. 1, 2, 3, and.
Da-da, da-da. Da-da, da-da.
Cool. Ellie, can I just hear you by yourself?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and.
Da-da, da-da.
2, 3.
Da-da, da-da.
Cool. All right. Now you've got Ellie's voice in your head. Let's all do that the same way. 1, 2, 3.
Da-da, da-da. Da-da, da-da.
I don't know why, but that was just way cleaner than it's been. Now you all sound like a horn section rather than 5 singers singing notes, right? So that is one way that you can. That is, and there are countless ways that you can use that. And the bass line all the time. It's really, how many basses are there? For this song too. That's like 1 too many. Really. I mean, most of the time. And it has nothing to do with basses being a bad thing. It's just that whenever you have a very rhythmic bass line like this one is, it's hard for 2 people to do that exactly the same. Right? It's very rhythmic. It's got a lot of different syllables and stuff happening. So,
is it loud enough so far?
not really. But I mean, in this room, it's going to be tough. But I can hear you from here. If we were in a theater, you know, people 4 or 5 rows back probably wouldn't be able to hear you at the moment. But that's just the limitations of what we're working with. But you can use the same idea. You can say, you know what, on this song, what's your name?
Isaiah.
Isaiah?
Yeah.
So you could say on one song, we're going to follow Isaiah. Like, listen to his licks, listen to his style, listen to the way he's doing it, and then I'm going to match him. You know what I mean? Rather than both people saying, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that's what tends to be what singers do, because we're just kind of egotistical that way. We want to be right, we want to do it our way. And so pick a person and make that person the leader and follow them. You can use that in all kinds of settings and in all different ways throughout your music. Okay? But that was nice. Yeah. Can we do the second one where it does a little bit something different?
Yeah.
And
I'm just doing a solo for that part, so I'm not singing.
you do your thing. You do you. Yes.
The da-da for that part, like they're like longer.
Yeah.
So because it's and we don't sing "Let Me Love You." We just keep doing da
Okay.
that time. So we can do the dead end, like when we do the
There's more.
yeah.
I don't have an answer to that right now.
Okay.
I'll let you guys work that out. For now, what I want to hear is just the people who have the da-da, da-da, and if you jump off and do a different part at a different time, that's fine. But I want to hear the second one where it's slightly different notes and rhythms and stuff, right?
Yeah.
We know where we are?
Yeah.
We're all on the same page?
Yeah, I think so. You're gonna sing on. I think she got one. Yeah, she was on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If it's not perfect, it's okay. This is basically what we're going to do is we're going to apply the same idea, listening to Ellie and seeing what we can do stylistically to match her. 1, 2, here we go. Yeah? Is that right? Okay, now we know we're all in the same place.
Okay, yeah, now.
You got
Sorry,
it?
the
Cool.
first time it goes straight. I'm going low now, so I switched parts.
So Hannah's the only one on.
Because I'm there for a little bit.
Yeah, what I told you to do earlier might mess you up now. So in terms of like who's singing what part, don't worry about that. Mostly right now what we're going for is stylistically, can we all match and do the same thing? 1, 2, here we go. That's all right. Cool. All right. This is a lot of detail, right? But these kind of details are what take music from being good to being memorable and really connecting with an audience in a way that the audience doesn't even understand. What we want the audience to be able to do in a situation, in a song like this, is just to be able to listen and be taken back to a memory that they have of hearing the song, to not care about anything else other than just enjoying the music. You know, and that's what music allows us to do. It allows us to either tell a story, it allows us to create a mood, it allows us to, sometimes more than one thing at a time, it can allow us to give a message of some kind, right? And there are lots of things that music can do. And so so the details, digging into those details, while to us it's like very technical and very musical, minute things. All of those details, when they're put together, provide that experience for the listener. And that's ultimately what we're striving for, is to provide that sort of magical experience for the listener that nothing else like music can do. That's the beautiful thing about music, is that it transcends all of the differences that we have. Would you say that we're fairly different in our country right now in terms of the division and the things that separate us? Music brings us together, and that's why I love it. I love it. It brings us together regardless of what we believe or what we think, all of those things, right? So anyway, we are almost out of time, shoot. I wanted to hit one more thing on this one, and this is, again, kind of a random detail, but it was just sticking out to me, so I wanted to hit it real quick. And that is the woo-woos that the ladies have in the background vocals during the verses. Can I just hear those sopranos and altos who have that? Whatever it is. Yeah. So here's what I'm hearing. Goes back to the idea of who's leading and what are we doing stylistically. So when are we doing vibrato? Are we all doing vibrato? Are we going to do straight tone on some notes? And so that's a question. I don't have an answer for that necessarily, but let's try something just for fun. Let's do so let's do vibrato on the first note and straight tone on the second note. Let's just see what that sounds like, just for fun. That may not be the right answer, but let's make an intentional decision to all do the same thing. Can I just hear those background ladies? You have that? 1, 2, 3, and. Let me count you off a little slower. I was too fast. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, that sounds more unified now. That may not be the right answer. Let's flip it. Let's do. So straight tone on the first note, vibrato on the second note. But be intentional about it. Don't just kind of glaze over it. Be intentional. 1, 2, 3, and. Got it? I don't know which one sounds better, honestly. I kind of like the first one a little bit better for some reason. Because it sounds like we're making too much of it if we end that with a big vibrato. Like, it's not a solo, it's a very, it should be kind of off in the background. So you get the idea. Make intentional decisions when you get to those kind of things. Don't just say, oh, it's just a 3-part easy thing, we can just kind of sing our way through it. This is the international sign for I'm bored and, don't smoke. Bad. You get the idea. So pay that kind of attention to all of those little details, and this will take this song up another notch. And we are out of time, but I would be more than happy to hear you sing one more if you want to.
Yeah, can we just... Yeah, I need you after that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I need your love, I need your time. When everything's wrong, you make it right. Feel so right. I come alive. I need to be free with you tonight. I know you're there, but I can't see you anymore. And every reason you're in the dark. I've been a stranger ever since we fell, and I feel so helpless here. Watch my eyes are filled with tears. Tell me, do you feel the same? Hold me in your arms again. to be free, bring you to life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I need your love, I need your time, I come alive. All the years, all the times, you have never been to blame. And now my eyes are open, and now my heart is full. All the tears, all the lies, all the ways, trying to shine away your shame. And now my eyes are open. I need your time, when everything's wrong, make it right. Just I feel so alive, I come alive, I'm here to be free. Oh, I need your love, I need your love, I need to be free. I need your love.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to hear that one. There's so much good music happening here right now, you guys. I mean, it's really at a high level, and this one probably as much as any of them. So one of the things that Pentatonics is a master of, I mean, their arrangements from a purely arranging perspective, they are not the most complicated arrangements in the world. But what they are masters of is using their voices. What we were talking about earlier, they know how to match each other like bananas, like nobody's business. Yeah.
This actually isn't.
Is that? What is it?
It's
by the guy that
it's just
arranged
it's arranged
The
by
guy
the
who
same guy.
arranges for
But it's
Pentatonics,
not-
but it's
it's
not
not
the one who
arranged.
does
Yeah,
it.
it's not the one that do, but it's the guy who arranges their
Got it. Yeah. So Ben, who arranges for them a lot, is like, this is Pentatonics like in its arranging. Okay,
Yeah.
so we think we want to strive for that sort of sound, and what they are masters of is matching whoever is the top voice in any particular triad, and those three singers. And by the way, it's not always Kirsty on top. You know that, right? Sometimes like Mitch flips up to the top, and they match him, and but they are masters at that, and that's one of the things that you all can even work on in this tune. Even though it's like 3 on a part sometimes, like who are we listening to stylistically? Who are we matching vowel-wise? All of that kind of stuff. The other thing that this one will force you to work on is knowing when you are a background instrument, so to speak. I'm just a keyboard right now, right? Whatever the vowel is, it's still just a keyboard part. And then when you step out and you become a background singer, which is typically when you're singing lyrics of some kind, you're singing a harmony with the solo line, or maybe you're doing a response to the solo line, something like that. Those are step out moments where soprano, altos, and tenors, and probably, is there a baritone part of this one? It's just SAT bass, right? Basically.
Well, yeah, there's a split in one of the parts with baritones.
Yeah. So guys too, whenever you step out, you're going to be listening up to what the ladies are doing stylistically. So make sure you're listening to them and matching. And again, it's identifying who's our leader, who are we trying to match. And when you find that sound, man, this is going to be up like several notches, because that's all just detail work that just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. But once you find it, it's going to be killer. So, good job.
Thank you.